Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to OneWrestling.com's Big Slam Nation ROH War of the Worlds 2017 right here in New York City review, because your boy Billy Ray and the Professor Chabelo Velacruz decided last minute that we would go to this show. And yeah, I know it was sold out, but we got in anyway. It's called StubHub. I was going to give you a lie and tell you, yeah, we got in because we got pulled like that. But no, not the truth. We went to StubHub and bought tickets and went to the show. And overall, it was excellent, and we're here to tell you about it. Professor Chabelo Velacruz, the glorious professor, what did you think? Quick thoughts before we get into the matches.
Well, first of all, whoop, whoop. And second of all, as far as the pay-per-view, I think a lot of people will take something different from it. I guess you will take something different from it, Billy Ray. But for me, it was a decent pay-per-view. I think it had some holes here and there, but for ROH standards, I think it could have been better, but it was an average, decent pay-per-view.
Here's the deal, man. Let's talk about it. I mean, it was a pay-per-view, but we were there live, so it was a totally different beast. The live crowd for an ROH show, in particular in New York City, is reminiscent of a live crowd for ECW back in the day when Pennsylvania, or when they would come to Queens, New York at the Elks Lodge or the Lost Battalion Hall, I thought it was called, I forget.
Yeah.
But the people lost their minds, and it's the same thing. I love going to indie shows in New York. I love going to ROH shows right here in the city. If you're close to the city, make your way down here and come to one of these shows, because it's always a great time. It's not like a WWE show. It's not like anything you've ever seen, and it's worth the price of admission just for the crowd, which is great. But we got excellent matches along with it. Let's get into the first one. Of course, this was New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor coming together, War of the Worlds. They do it every year. I think this is the fourth year, at least the third year that they've done it. All right, let's talk about this. Give me a second here while I get the match. KUSHIDA versus Bobby Fish versus the last real man. Did you know there are no more real men on earth except for Silas Young? Did you know that?
I did not know that. I thought we were some of the last real men on One Wrestling.
Billy Ray thought so too. Billy Ray thought, well, on One Wrestling, you and I are the last real men. Big Ray is not a real man, not by any stretch. Yeah. So you got a point there. But I'm talking about the world in general, not just OneWrestling.com. Silas Young is the last real man. I thought I was a real man. Apparently I'm not. Silas Young is the last real man. Okay, versus Dalton Castle. I don't know if I mentioned him, but I'm mentioning him again because he is the greatest thing ever. This is the first time I've ever seen Dalton Castle live in any capacity, okay? And I marked out from the beginning. I lost my mind. I took out my camera. I started taping. I was like, there's Dalton Castle. Epic entrance. Professor, come on. The entrance was epic, right? That was an epic entrance.
Absolutely agree. I mean, Dalton Castle has everything that WWE would love on a Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. He has the charisma. He has the showmanship. He has the presence. And he has the boys. And lo and behold, he had like about 3 or 4 or 5 new boys that I'd never even seen in my life.
10 boys out there. I have to do that every time the Party Peacock is being talked about. You have to do it. I myself am a Party Peacock. I don't know if you guys knew this. I'm not a real man, but I am a Party Peacock. Excellent match, man. I'm a big fan of KUSHIDA, for one. And this isn't the first time I've seen him wrestle. I've seen him wrestle many times. But it's always great to see him this side of the river, of the ocean.
And let's not forget that KUSHIDA is a New York Yankees fan.
He is.
So he came into the ring with a Yankee shirt, and I think it was the last real man, Silas Young, doing some dirt on a Yankee fan. Yeah, that's why I don't like Silas Young anymore. He's a Met fan. That's what it was. Not
cool, Silas Young. But the New York Post just reported on how God hates the Mets. So apparently KUSHIDA hates the Mets too. He did the right thing. Came out in a New York Yankee pinstripe jersey. So great match overall. Dalton Castle takes the win, as well he should. But let me talk about what you were talking about. WWE better not screw with this guy. If they bring him in, they bring him in as is, as the Party Peacock, as Dalton Castle. He will light it up. He will light it up. The guy has charisma beyond charisma. He knows how to act. He can do it properly. He can cut the right promo. And he has a bunch of boys at his disposal. Not my thing. I would have a ton of girls, or women, I should say, at my disposal. That's what I would do. He prefers boys. Nothing wrong with that. I am a big mark. I love Dalton Castle. He went over here. Give me your closing thoughts on this match.
What the WWE messed up with Adam Rose is what ROH and Dalton Castle does right in the indies with his character as the party peacock person and with the boys.
Adam Rose.
That's all I can say.
Adam Rose nowhere close to the party peacock. I can see what you're trying to say, Prof. I see what you're trying to say. Nowhere close to Dalton Castle. On another level.
I am. That's what I mean. I mean, nowhere near close. But that's how one company messes up a nice gimmick, a nice cheerful gimmick, a nice soulful gimmick with the party atmosphere. And Dalton Castle is the total opposite. Free range, creative freedom, the boys. I keep saying this. He has boys everywhere. He has boys in America. And if you see at one of those New Japan shows, he has, Japanese boys. He probably goes to India. He has Indian boys. He's got England boys. He's got African boys. He's got boys in Mexico. He's got boys in between. I don't know.
Boys in between. Anyway, so, hey, listen, I want to give a big shout out to Heel Steven, who we saw at the show briefly yesterday. What's up, Heel Steven? Also, Mark, we never quite linked up. Mark's cell phone died, by the way, Professor, and that's why we didn't link up. But we will at upcoming indie shows. And anybody else that was there looking for us, man, sorry we weren't able to link up. I saw the stuff going back and forth. I apologize. All right. Frankie, during this match, I must say, I'm going to throw it to the Professor because Billy Ray Valentine got up to take a tinkle. Frankie Kazarian versus Hangman Paige. I mean, I know what happened, but Professor saw the match. So, Prof, after you.
I guess I have to be objective on this one.
Right.
This was the Professor's worst match of the pay-per-view.
Is that a lock?
Yes, that's a lock. It's
lock.
The Professor's lock. Worst match of the night. I mean, I have no interest in Hangman Page. I mean, Hangman Page is a waste in space for the Bullet Club. I don't know why. You know what? For anybody who likes Hangman Page, God bless you. I call him the Buff Bagwell of the Bullet Club. I have no interest in Hangman Page. Frankie Kazarian, I know what he's doing. He's going on a singles run. We know where he's gonna go. He's probably gonna go after that World Television title in the near future. So, and this is a storyline wise. Hangman Page beat up Frankie Kazarian in a parking lot in Las Vegas, which, by the way, is a criminal offense that was recorded on TV, and no one reported it. Number one. But anyway, the match was decent at best, and Hangman Page, did some shortcuts to get the cheat. He cheated to win, and that was it. That's all I will say.
I beat people up in parking lots every day, and no one ever said anything to me. I've never been arrested. Nothing even close to that. To that consequence, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Was it on the internet though?
It's been on World Star on several occasions. You look up Billy Ray beats up Jobber on World Star, you'll find it.
That looked like Big Ray. I did not. Oh, okay.
That was the Jobber I was beating up. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yes,
yeah.
Big Ray. Okay, so if that was you being objective, I don't want to see you not being objective. I'm sure this was a good match. These are good workers. I just can't speak to it because Billy Ray was trying to get a pretzel, and that line was ridiculous. And Billy Ray was trying to buy Kenny Omega shirt, and that line was ridiculous. So Billy Ray went to take a tinkle, and that line was fine. And then I sat back down, and this match was over. Okay, so this was good, and you and I are going to differ on this, but I want to talk like we were talking last night. So let's make believe that conversation never happened, and let's rehash it right here, right? We got the War Machine versus Evil and Sonata versus Jonathan Gresham and Chris Sabin. Now, I was pleasantly surprised at what at this
you got this difficulty with tongue twisters today.
Yeah, it's been happening all day. You know what I mean? I had some hot wings earlier today, and I haven't been 100. But anyway, go ahead. Tell me what you think.
I thought it was a good match between these three teams, but with the War Machine, I look at them. Number one, they're looking like the Ascension for some reason.
They actually look like Giant Callisto. Both of them.
That too, but they're wearing like these Game of Thrones masks underneath them now. I think they're getting a lot of experience in Japan, and they are the current IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. So congratulations to them. That's a move. They're killing it all around the world. But the problem I say to you, Billy Ray, and I will say this to the Slamites out there, maybe it's just me, but the War Machine is in the wrong place at the wrong time. If this was 1985, in the land of the Rock and Roll Express, in the land of Midnight Express, British Bulldogs, Heart Foundation, Road Warriors, these guys would be monsters, killing it in the territories, killing it all over the world. But right now, they're relegated to the times they are at, and they are oversized 205 Live guys. They're very athletic. Don't get me wrong, Slamites. I like their athleticism, but they just don't have that look as being 300-pound beasts. But when they do flippity flops, you know, I don't take it as seriously. But they're very athletic. I will say that, nonetheless.
Well, Billy Ray couldn't disagree more. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Like, I gotta tell you, I gotta confess, while I am a giant Ring of Honor fan, I haven't been watching too much Ring of Honor television, even though it was my idea to go to this show because I'm a big mark for New Japan and I'm a big mark for a lot of ROH talent. So I wanted to go see this if I could. I hadn't seen too much of War Machine, and when I did see them, I would just, you know, turn them off or do whatever I needed to do. These guys were impressive. Impressive, man. I was very impressed. And I remember turning to you and saying, I am impressed. Yeah, you know what? Like, I get everything you're saying about how they're big dudes and they should act like big dudes and they should be monsters. And I agree with you on that point. I also think that they are kind of monsters, but not only that, they've adapted to the new style of professional wrestling. You can trace the evolution. Let's give them a history lesson real quick, Professor. I know you can hang because you are the professor. So let's give them a history lesson. Going back to the Headhunters. You remember these guys?
In ECW.
Two dudes. They were in the WWE as well. Two dudes from the Dominican Republic. Huge. I mean, huge guys in weight. They must have been 400 pounds apiece. Twin guys doing moonsaults off the top rope. Vader was another one that was able to do these moonsaults off the top rope. This is the next evolution of that. These guys can go, and they knew how to work the crowd. They knew the crowd that they were getting. They knew they were getting a New Japan / Strong Style / ROH crowd, and they gave them what they wanted. And I thought they did an excellent job. They won the match, by the way. Excellent job. Prof, tell me.
No, I agree with you that there is an evolution, but when you say the names of Vader, when you say the names of the Headhunters, even the Head Shrinkers or Samoan Swap Team, big monsters who are athletically gifted, but there's a time and a place to show that athleticism. But in the Ring of Honor style, in the 2017 style, and the style of just like quick, fast, and you know what have you done for me lately? They're monsters that shouldn't be doing that. You know, people like the Motor City Machine Guns, people like Sonata, should be doing that stuff. Not these guys. They should just pick and choose their spots. That's just me. But again, they're athletically gifted. They're very impressive. And I think once they can balance it, they balance the athleticism and being the monsters that I know they can be, they're going to be one of those tag teams that you're going to be talking about years to come and saying, you know what, War Machine is one of those top 10 tag teams ever. I will say that.
Hey, let me tell you that. They're over with the crowd here in NYC. I'm sure they're over all over the world, but they are over as hell. Let's talk about Sonata for a little while. If you're familiar with Sonata from his TNA days, the great Sonata, this is a different guy. And I was talking with the professor yesterday when we were having some deep wrestling intellectual conversations while we were watching this match. I think Sonata is slated to have a big role in New Japan in the future. Give me your thoughts on that, Prof.
I'm going to take your word for it. I think Sonata being with Los Ingobernables, a good group.
Los Ingobernables de Japón.
My español es no muy bueno.
You're Latino, Chabelo de la Cruz. Come on now.
Yes, but that's Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican, so it's a little bit different right there.
That's Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican.
But you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. But anyway, I think he has the look, he has the presence. But you know what? I think seeing him at Impact Wrestling, I think you can see like people, getting older, getting more mature with the times. Sonata looked like a young green kid being given a gimmick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
being in the business, going all around the world, again, going to New Japan or all points in between, he's honing his craft, and I think you're right. In a couple of years, he's gonna be maybe a IWGP champion.
I think they're looking for somebody. Shibata is leaving a void, and Shibata was that guy that was slated to take over. He was going to be that next guy that they were going to build to become main event. He was going to be that guy. He's not there anymore. I don't know if Shibata will ever wrestle a match again. Sanada is perfect. He is perfect in my eyes. If I'm looking at him as a Japanese Vince McMahon, I'm thinking, that guy, yeah, get me that guy. I know that's not a very good Vince McMahon impression.
There are titles in New Japan. He can go after the newly created IWGP United States Championship.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Once they go to America.
Let's talk about that.
Let me just say my points.
Don't let me forget it. Don't let me forget it.
Yeah. He could go after that newly created IWGP United States Championship. He could go after the Never Openweight Championship. He could go after the Intercontinental Championship that my man Naito was wearing. And if Hustleites, Slamites, everybody, all points in between, go on my Facebook and Twitter page, PROFPW Hustle, and you will see the Professor and Naito and the Professors holding that IC belt. Well, go ahead, Billy Ray, and talk about that United States, the newly formed United States Championship.
Listen, man, they did this before the show started. They announced the New Japan Pro Wrestling United States title. I think the belt is beautiful. Most people think it's ugly. That's besides the point. It's not about the belt. It's about the title. So a U.S. champ for New Japan, right? It's gonna be decided in a tournament that's gonna take place over in Cali. What's up, Cali? That's gonna be freaking amazing. I can't wait to see it.
A round robin 2-day tournament.
Who are they gonna put this title on?
Wow. I mean, the card is stacked. I mean, you got, if Sonata's in there, that's a good pick. Goto is a good pick.
I think they put it on an American. For the first time, anyway.
But if New Japan is coming to America, I think that would be too cliche to put it on an American.
This is why I think they'll do it. No, I think they're looking at it as same reason Jinder Mahal is about to become WWE champ, because they're trying to draw in the Indian market, the WWE, right? So New Japan is trying to do the same with the United States. So what better way to do it than to put the belt on an American? Just saying. I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe Cody Rhodes, right?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes. Maybe Michael Elgin. Maybe if we're going to go America. I mean, the Young Bucks. Sometimes the Young Bucks have done, some singles runs in tournaments.
How about
you got
Adam Cole, baby? How about that?
Well, that's a time we'll get into that a little bit later on into the show. I got something for the Slammers on that one.
All right. Nothing else on this United States title?
There's too many Americans I can name. Roppongi Vice, War Machine could do a singles run in this tournament. As you were saying, how good they are. Hanson and Rowe, they're athletically gifted monsters, and they could have a singles run with the U.S. belt too.
How about Kenny Omega? Kenny Omega's Canadian, but how about they put it on Kenny Omega?
It's North America though. Yeah. If we're gonna, that's a loophole right there. You could do that.
You could do that. Kenny Omega, very possible. But I want Kenny Omega to get the IWGP strap. So let's save him for that. How about that? Okay. So good match. War Machine wins. Match of the night in Billy Ray Valentine's opinion. And this is strictly Billy Ray Valentine's opinion, not necessarily the views and opinions of the Professor Chabelo Villacruz. But Billy Ray thinks that Will Ospreay versus Jay White was the best match of the night. One of the best matches I've seen. I've been in the presence of live, I think. I've seen a lot of great matches. This was an excellent match. Will Ospreay is so freaking good, and I know we know this, but this is one of the main reasons I bought a ticket to go, because I wanted to see Will Ospreay, and he delivered, and Jay White delivered as well, and so did Punishment Martinez at the end of this. I'm taking his name, and so is the Professor. It's a Punishment Valentine and Punishment Chabelo Villacruz. Tell me your thoughts about Ospreay versus Jay White. I think you can't deny that this was great. I know you're not a big fan of the style, but tell me about it, since you're such a purist. Go ahead.
It's not about being a purist. It's just about being objective of what I saw. Yes, these two put on a great match, and Jay White, hung with Will Ospreay. The one thing, it's like you said, Billy Ray, you got to see it live to really get a feel about this. And it took the professor seeing Will Ospreay live. I seen like the matches on TV with him and Ricochet, and everybody talk about that's the greatest match they've ever seen, the 6-star match ever. But when I saw him there, and I'm looking at him, it's funny that as fluid as he is, as artistic as he is, as he can do all this stuff, creating magic in the air. It looks so robotic.
Oh, God.
It looks so robotic.
I couldn't disagree more, man.
I know you couldn't disagree because you're enamored by what you see, by him actually executing it good. And I'm looking at him like, wow, he can flip, but I just see no emotion out of him doing anything. It just is, to me, he's not – he almost needs to be in America a little bit more. And he can understand that. I'm not talking about the WWE style. I'm just talking about being in America more and seeing how the American fans can really make him even much more better. Once he gets that charisma, once he understands what the professor's talking about, and Will Ospreay will thank me. He will tweet at the professor saying, you know what, mate? I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying.
That's horrible. Don't ever try an English accent ever again, for one. Two, he was in front.
I can't do his accent, but anyway.
Two, he was in front of a few thousand American fans last night that completely understood what was going on. And yes, the professor is talking about the WWE style. That is what he does. I don't think this guy needs it. I think he's so good. So good. There's a couple of very, very talented performers that performed last night. Will Ospreay is one of the special ones. There are about 3 or 4 that were special talents. And ROH always seems to get these people to come over and wrestle for Ring of Honor, that they have that special something. And we're seeing them now in the WWE, if you don't believe it. So we had, CM Punk, we had Daniel Bryan, Kevin Steen, Sami Zayn, even though Sami Zayn isn't being booked properly now, but he's awesome. Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe. We can keep going. Cesaro. Let's say what's up to Cesaro before I pause that. All right. So anyway, this is a special talent. Will Ospreay is that next level, take the game to a different level talent. And it was a pleasure seeing him live last night. And I think the guy has nothing but limitless potential. He can really take it to another level. Let's go to the next. Excellent match, by the way. Hey, you want to talk about Punishment Martinez at the end? Everybody started singing Roman Reigns' theme song for Punishment Martinez. Maybe because he looks like Roman Reigns, or there's something else involved there. This is the first time I've ever seen Punishment Martinez. So, first off, I'm a mark for that name. It's such a, I want to say bad name.
Yes, it is.
That it makes me laugh. Go ahead, bro.
Punishment Martinez. You know what? People singing Roman Reigns song. It is funny. When you have 3,000 people humming Roman Reigns song, it tells you one thing: Punishment Martinez, change your name, put on a mask. That's what they have to do. Number one. Number two, I don't know if Dirt sees us say, well, Ring of Honor sees big things for Punishment Martinez as the next Ring of Honor heavyweight champion, which could be true.
Yeah.
He's 6'10", 6'11". He's got the look. I could say all the same things I could defend with Roman Reigns, with Punishment Martinez. People just don't have that bigger picture look for Punishment Martinez. I don't understand these people. I don't understand this, Billy Ray. But you know what?
No, man. I just think he set the bar on names. Punishment Martinez. I think we need to name ourselves different names like that, like Violent Billy Ray Valentine, or Violent Valentine. Actually, that's too good. I need something like Punishment Martinez, something like that flows. I don't know. We got to think of something, Professor. He's showing us up on a name.
I think that Punishment is his middle name. I think his first name is Cruel and Unusual.
Cruel? Are you serious? Or
just
not?
Playing.
That is perfect. That should be his name. Cruel Punishment Martinez. All right, CPM.
Yes.
For sure.
If he goes to NXT, Cruel. that will be his name.
My name is Cruel, a.k.a. Unusual Punishment Martinez. You know what I mean? See, we're booking this right now. This is the way you do it. This is the way you do it in the big-time WWE boardrooms. This is the way it should be done. because that's not what they're doing. But that's besides the point. Anyway, Will Ospreay, excellent. Any closing thoughts on Ospreay's match?
You know what? I'll say this. Like I said, it was very fluid in the ring. You know, the spots were, spot on. Mm-hmm. You know, I hate to use that word, but, Jay White held his own. And like I told you, Billy Ray, Jay White, he's a kid in the New Japan dojos. He's, working his way up. He's paying his dues. He's got a rep. That's a future champion in the making, too. And maybe, I don't know if Jay White is American, but he could be New Japan United States champion, with this tournament coming up too.
Good point. He was very good, and he was very over with the fans.
Oh, no, Jay White. No, wait. I'm sorry. My mistake, Slam Ice. You will correct me. Then we'll leave the comments. He's not American. He's from the UK too. Yes. I'm sorry, Slam Ice. I stand corrected.
Hey, listen, man. We can make the argument that the UK, the United Kingdom, England in particular, still rules over the United States. So.
Oh, okay.
You can make that argument, and you can put the title on him.
We got a loophole. It's always about the loophole.
Hail to the queen. Okay, next match. We had Hiroshi Goto and Roppongi. Roppongi Vice. I like that song. And they went up against the Briscoes, who were awesome. So cool to everybody. First off, every wrestler that was down in the meet and greet were super cool to everyone. But the Briscoes looked like they were having a hell of a time with people. They just looked like cool dudes. And Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray, who came out from our section where we were sitting to address the crowd. Do you know where you are? You're in New York City, home of the Dudleys, man. That guy comes out. He walks the streets in New York. People start yelling, get the tables. He could run for mayor here. He came out, that place exploded. It was awesome. Pretty cool match, too. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was a no DQ. Well, Bully Ray changed it into a no DQ tables match off the blue. And like you said, he was in our section, and I blame Billy Ray Valentine because he's supposed to have that keen sense of, you know what, that wrestler's right next to us. We were looking straight at the ring. We were looking straight at everybody in the ring. And then right to my right, I look. Oh, he's right there. Bully Ray's right there. He walks. No, but it's a good example that he can walk amongst the crowd, and it's so normal. And it's like, oh, damn, he's right there. And you know what? Bully Ray is one of the last of a dying breed of people that are still in this business that can capture the crowd. And it's not about the moves. It's just about the atmosphere. He has him in the palm of his hand, and in the ring. He's as physical as they come. They use chairs. They use tables. And, he, again, points to the Briscoes and says, get the tables. You got 3,000 people going crazy. It was an entertaining match.
And what was the chant that broke out? First off, I didn't see Bully Ray next to us because I was busy laughing at Punishment Martinez. Okay? Yeah. 2, what was the chant that broke out when Bully Ray addressed the crowd? And it's still amazing that the wrestling audience still has that memory here in New York City. It won't go away.
You mean those 3 letters?
Yes, sir. I have to bring it up. Tell them.
Yeah. They keep chanting that timeless 3 letters. That's the only 3 letters, Slamites. You don't chant ROH. You don't chant TNA. You don't chant WWE. There's only 3 letters that a fan is supposed to chant in wrestling. It's theirs. They patented it. They're trademarked. They should sue them for libels. It's ECW. ECW, that's the only 3 letters in the wrestling business that should always be chanted.
Before ECW, I don't think I can remember an audience chanting the letters of an organization. ECW made that popular, at least for sure. I think they started it personally. I could be wrong about that, but they definitely made it popular. Now everybody chants TNA, ROH, everything like that, NXT. And not that they don't deserve it. ROH definitely deserves it. NXT deserves it. And at times TNA has deserved it too. But there's only one, like the Professor Anthony Quintana, the Professor Chabelo Vela-Cruz. The Professor Chabelo Vela-Cruz so eloquently...
He ran out the door. Go ahead. Go. They're coming.
The Professor Chabelo Vela-Cruz has so eloquently pointed out it's all about ECW. And that organization has made such an impact on every wrestling fan of that generation that we just don't forget. Bully Ray comes out. Instant ECW chant here in New York City. What a great moment. It's great to see Bully Ray. The Briscoes went in. It was pretty much chair swinging match, throwing chairs at each other's heads the whole time.
And those titles look good.
Yeah, they did nice.
I never saw those titles before live like that. I was like a little bit skeptical on that. And you know what? Being for 6-man tag team championships, you know, I'm going to have to go professor mode here with my caps on, remembering people like Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors and NWA, remembering the Von Erichs and World Class with it wasn't really a belt. It was a trophy when they were 6-man tag team champions. So, you know, to see that kind of concept to be resurrected, so to say, in 2017, you know, it depends on the audience, Billy Ray. What do you think? I mean, I don't know if it will still be kind of like a timeless thing to do. I think, you know, for the short term, it's nice to see. It gives, you know, wrestlers a platform. But, you know, can the 6-man concept still last a long time? I don't know. That's just being objective here.
The belts are gorgeous, and the 6-man tag, it could last because it gives everybody a purpose if you use it the right way. You can have main eventers in a 6-man tag. You know, so you can have people that are potentially going for the heavyweight title of that organization involved or being a member of a 6-man team. You know, and there doesn't have to be a commitment involved. They just get together when those titles are on the line or when they're trying to get to those titles. You get what I'm saying? So it can involve everybody and it can elevate people at the same time. So let's say,
but as you say, Billy Ray, the names I said in the past, they were main eventers.
Absolutely.
But also but the 6-man concept doesn't last long. It kind of was an afterthought too. So that's why I'm just saying the same thing.
No, I get it. I get it 100. I'm just trying to look for a way that it could benefit everyone and it could still be relevant. So let's say the tag team is Billy Ray Valentine, the Professor Anthony Quintana, and Big Ray. So the Professor Anthony Quintana and Billy Ray, we're main eventers. Big Ray is a jobber kind of sort of, you know what I mean? He's one of those guys that we just keep on the side, and he's looking to get in. He's looking to be relevant. So they team him up with us, so that way we can make him look like he's important. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's like Cheeseburger.
Yeah,
ROH,
well, not even because Cheeseburger's really over. He'd be like Punishment Martinez. You know what I mean? He'd be Punishment Martinez of the crew. Yeah. You know, so but still we got him. You know, and we'd bring him up. And we.
Oh no! You know what? I can already. You already gave Big Ray. You know. He's gonna say, "No, I'm Big Punishment Ray, guys." You already put him over. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Ray? Don't kill us later. Hey, listen. So, excellent match. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't the best like technical match or whatever, but it was entertaining. Professor brought up something to me while we were sitting watching this. He was like, ROH has kind of changed its dynamic. We should talk about that at the end after we sum up everything, and we'll discuss how ROH has evolved from the era of Kevin Steen, of Davey Richards, of Roderick Strong to now, and what kind of difference. Different type of entertainment they offer to the viewing public. But let's finish up this these matches, right? So, this is also very awesome. Marty Scurll, the ROH TV champ, versus Matt Sidell. Marty Scurll is all types of over. All types of over. I mean, he might have been the most over person on the card. I don't think that's a far stretch. It's between him and Ospreay. Like and Marty, I want to say he was more over than Ospreay. People lost it. People were chanting the ooh thing, whatever. I can't do it. My throat isn't working. There you go. People were doing that all night. I mean, they love this guy. They love him. But then again, what's there not to love? And Matt Sidell is amazing. I think this match wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was still very good, and it was more about the presence of Marty Scurll. It was more about him being him than an actual match. You get it? Tell me something, Quintana. Chabelo de la Cruz. Tell me something, Chabelo.
He's out the window. He's out the window. Go ahead. But Marty Scurll, you know what? He's a presence. That's what I keep talking about. He's just that presence. You know, when the music hits, the lights go out, you know, the umbrella in the air. I mean, Marty Scurll has the crowd, especially a New York City crowd, one of the most hardest crowds to get over in wrestling, but once you do, you're gold forever. Mm-hmm. He got them in the palm of his hand. I don't want to like say this as a disrespect, but I'm just gonna put it out there. Like Marty Scurll's entrance almost
Bray Wyatt,
is
right?
like
Are you thinking that?
I was thinking Bray
know,
Wyatt.
exactly.
I was thinking of like maybe the Undertaker. It's just one of those things when the music hits and the crowd just like, oh my God, it's a moment there. And as you're right, the match could have been better, but I think it's all about Marty Scurll. I think the whole gimmick of Marty Scurll, especially as the ROH TV champion for the Slamites who haven't been up to date with it, is like he's been looking for competition. He's not ducking anybody on the Ring of Honor roster. He has faced people like Adam Cole. He has faced people like Jay Lethal. He has faced people like, of course, Matt Sidell, and Dalton Castle, to name a few, on ROH TV. So he's like literally saying, I want competition. So I think this is building onto something, because ROH has been known to like build for like months in advance for Final Battle storyline. So I'm waiting to see this payoff for like that big ROH guy to come back to go against Marty Scurll for the TV champion. I see him as the TV champion until the end of the year. Guaranteed.
It's going to be him and Ospreay for that, probably, for the foreseeable future.
He actually beat Ospreay to become the TV champion.
So, I see him coming back, is what I mean. There's unfinished business there, but regardless of that, I am a mark right now for Marty Scurll. The guy's great. I spent the better part of the morning looking up all types of Marty Scurll stuff. His entrance song is great. I love it. And the WWE is all over this guy, okay? If you think for 1 second that this isn't happening, you're wrong. He's going over there. My biggest fear is that they screw with the character and that they screw with this song. Even though the CFOs are amazing and they'll probably do something very good, CFOs being the guys that produce and compose WWE music. They'll probably do a very good job by Marty Scurll, but I love this song as is right now. It's perfect for him. Perfect. I loved everything about this. He wins, and he's not done for the night, as you probably already know. But the Professor Anthony Quintana, who is not here and I don't know, the Professor Chabelo Villacruz, and myself will talk about that later on. Okay, so now what do we got? We have the Young Bucks Super Kick Party, who were over as hell as well, and were also super cool with everyone, with the kids and everybody that wanted to come up to them. Super cool guys. The Young Bucks versus BUSHI and Tetsuya Naito of Los Ingobernables de Japón. All right, so no joke, no surprise to anyone here. That's why I went. It's my biggest motivation of going. I even did the real geek thing. I geeked out and took a picture with the guy and held the IC title. I had to do it, okay? I had to do it. Don't judge me, okay? I'm a big fan. I am a big fan of the guy. Guy's just a little bit bigger than me, and I'm not that big. So, cool that a guy like that. I turned to Chabelo Villacruz and I told him, hey, I could have been a professional wrestler, because this guy is. And he's one of the best in the world. People popped for Naito, and they popped for the Young Bucks. They popped for BUSHI. Excellent match, man. Tell me something about it, Professor.
This was, on a lock, the Professor's match of the night. No pun intended, because what Will Ospreay to me brings in the robotic sense of his fluidity. The Young Bucks do the same flip stuff, but they just have showmanship. They have charisma. They just know how to do it at the right times, even if it's the same moves they do all the time with the Meltzer driver and all that stuff. But they just know how to present it to me. Hey, what's going on there?
Go ahead.
But they just know how to present it in a better light. And like I said, it was the match of the night. I marked out for Naito too. The Professor had to. The Professor at the meet and greet showed better respect for the IWGP Intercontinental title than Naito did when he's throwing it all over the place. I could have been like, yo, Naito, I could have destroyed that belt for you too. I could have threw that belt. But it was a great match of the night. I mean, Naito's over, Bushi's over. I've never seen Bushi before, so he's very athletic, very gifted, and like you said, the elite of the Young Bucks. it's Young Bucks country when they're in New York, so it was hands down they were going to win the match.
It's Young Bucks country wherever they are, apparently. They're just – this is why they're the best tag team in the world, in my opinion. I don't think any other tag team around right now can do what those guys are doing.
I had like little arguments with fans, next to the professor, People said, Young Bucks are better. I said, no, the Revival's better. But, I don't want to get into that stuff. But
no, but do you really think the Revival – as good as the Revival is, because they're very good, do you really think they'll be able to pull off what the Young Bucks are doing all over the world right now? The Young Bucks have been able to etch out a living, not only a living, a very lucrative living, outside of the WWE. They don't have to go there, and they're over as hell everywhere they go. They don't even have to do ridiculous moves 9 times out of 10 because people just want to see them. I don't know if the Revival can duplicate that. I don't know if they can be that.
I think to me, I'm not trying to be very I'm going to be very objective. I called the Revival a hybrid team of teams gone past, Steiners, Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, for a reason. They're the most psychological team out there, and the way they presented their match, and to see like a dream match of the Revival and the Young Bucks, that will be poetry in motion, Billy Ray. That's what I want to see. I hope I get to see that, whether it's in the Indies or in WWE.
I would rather see it in the Indies than in the WWE, but yes, I get you. Excellent match. Young Bucks over strong. Very, very good, very good. I had no complaints about this. This was a good night to go see live. If you were there live, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's move on to Adam Cole, baby, versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Whom I love, and I got to see in the meet and greet as well, and a very cool dude. And Adam Cole also, very cool dude. He spoke to the professor for a while. Cool guy. Nope. Can't say that I love the match. This match could have been better. It was entertaining because Adam Cole was entertaining, and so was Hiroshi Tanahashi. He was also very entertaining. But the match itself could have been so much better. Just judging from what they've done in the past, the type of performers these guys are, and what they can do in the ring, I think they left a little bit there to be desired. Tanahashi goes over. Adam Cole going somewhere else after this, maybe? Probably. Give me your thoughts, Prof.
Well, you know what? Spoiler alert for the Slammers. At the meeting, I got to meet Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, you're such
so
a mark, bro.
See that? Yes, I am. To the professor of the PW Hustle, Adam Cole, baby.
You're embarrassing me.
And I got in-depth information, kind of like built after Godfather information. I said, Adam Cole, good luck when I see you at NXT TakeOver Chicago. Adam Cole did this. He looked at me with a chuckle, with a smile. He didn't confirm it, neither denied it. So you take it for whatever you want, Slamites. But I understand, Billy Ray, why you was not like pleasantly pleased with this match. I think it's because of the circumstances. This could be, Adam Cole doing the honors of honor, having one of those matches here in one town here, one town there, putting other guys who are going to still be in Ring of Honor for a long time to come. That's what you do. That's the tradition.
I get
so that's why it didn't. But it delivered because of what happened after the fact.
I get it. No, it's fine. I'll throw it right back to you. I get it, but it just could have been better. I understand that the outcome had to be what it had to be, and I have no problem with that. Losing to Tanahashi, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But I just thought it could have been a better in-ring product. I thought it could have been a better presentation. They could have done better with this. That's all. Regardless of that, I enjoy both performers very, very much. So, and it doesn't end here. It continued. Professor set it up and give it to him.
Well, after Adam Cole lost to Tanahashi, he was in the ring and the fans were saying thank you, Adam Cole, thank you, Adam Cole. They were clapping, and then lo and behold, here comes the Young Bucks, under the ring, and it looked like it was going to be another super kick party, but then they stopped. Then they it was going to be one of those hug fests, like a Bailey hug fest, and the fans were going to go crazy saying thank you, Cole, for all he has done for Ring of Honor for the past. Light that screen was the cleaner, Kenny Omega, and and then what he was saying certain things, but at the end of that 2-minute montage on the screen, you looked over to his left or right on the screen, and it was Billy Ray's favorite wrestler right now, Marty Scurll. The lights come back on. Marty Scurll's in the ring. He opens his umbrella, and what does it say? Bullet Club.
Yeah, and people marked out hard for that.
And the Young Bucks, yeah, and they take out Adam Cole, baby.
Your Skype is breaking up, but let me tell you guys, just in case you guys are watching and Skype is breaking up, there is like a storm of epic proportions. We have to swim to get to the next block. That's how bad it is out here right now, so that probably has something to do with it. Anyway, Marty Scurll, new member of the Bullet Club, and I love Marty Scurll. I love the Bullet Club. But I don't necessarily love this union. It's getting a little played out, man. I remember the NWO. When the NWO started, it was awesome. And then everybody started joining, and it wasn't that awesome anymore. The Big Show joined. Mr. Perfect joined. I mean, you name it, they joined the stupid NWO. Same thing for the Bullet Club. It's kind of getting watered down to me. They don't need another member. They didn't need Adam Cole to begin with. I think they're doing it as a surprise factor. People dug this, so this is just me. But I
agree.
Yeah.
I agree, Billy Ray. I mean, now we're getting to Bullet Club 4.5 or 5.0. It's just like, who's the next leader? Well, we know Kenny Omega is kind of like the unofficial leader no matter what, but he's just not in Ring of Honor a lot. So Marty Scurll being, it makes all the sense in the world to be the face of Ring of Honor Bullet Club chapter. But again, you're right. It's just like the Bullet Club has run its course. But, as long as the fans love it and they buy the T-shirts, it's all about the money, right? It's all about the merchandising. So that's all that's going to matter.
Absolutely. And everybody's buying those T-shirts, all right? Because there was nothing but Bullet Club T-shirts all through that place. And then different incarnations of Bullet Club T-shirts, like Cody Rhodes' Bullet Club T-shirt, Kenny Omega's Bullet Club T-shirt, the Young Bucks Bullet Club T-shirt. That's what you saw out there. Adam Cole, Heel Steven was wearing the Adam Cole Bullet Club T-shirt. Like that's all you saw throughout the entire place was that. So, I mean, you can't stop something you can stop it, but it wouldn't be smart. You're making money, you keep it going, so I guess that was their rationale, right? Okay, main event of the evening. Let's go to it. Three-way clash for the Ring of Honor heavyweight title of the world. Cody Rhodes, or Cody, the American Nightmare, Jay Lethal, and the champion Christopher Daniels defending. Professor, what did you think of this? It was late. All right, it was late. People wanted to go home. These guys came on, and I don't know. It didn't quite mesh. It didn't quite flow. It didn't have that same oomph as when Dalton Castle came out in the beginning, or when Will Ospreay lit it up, or when Marty Scurll came out. Still good, but just not the same. Tell us about it.
Well, the word you're looking for is je ne sais quoi. It didn't have that je ne sais quoi.
That je ne sais quoi, that I don't know what.
Yes. But the match did underdeliver for many reasons. I think, number one, as you said, the time. I mean, if Ring of Honor didn't learn from WWE, never end a pay-per-view by midnight or even over that. Never. So, I mean, fans are a little bit tired. The Professor was tired. And number two, I think the match also underdelivered because of the ramifications. I mean, you and I was talking during the match. I said, wouldn't it be great for Ring of Honor and the representation of having Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, there, and really at the WWE and Vince McMahon, and having him become the new champion? I said, Billy Ray, do you think that he's going to do it? You said absolutely not. I said you never know. I said you never know. This is the perfect place, the perfect situation, and Ring of Honor, I don't know what they were thinking, but I understand why Christopher Daniels is the champion. I'm not saying that he's not a good champion. I'm just saying the timing was just too perfect, especially for what Cody Rhodes has been doing in the Indies and has been doing all around the world. Just to have that big moment to say, ha ha, Vince McMahon, I'm the world champion. You didn't give me that chance. This was the place that gave it to me. That's all I would say.
I'm a big fan of Christopher Daniels. And we'll get to Cody Rhodes in a second. But I'm a big fan of Christopher Daniels, and I'm glad that they put the belt on him, but it was kind of reminiscent of TNA putting the belt on Chris Sabin. Why? You know, but Christopher Daniels deserved it. So did Chris Sabin. You can make the argument, right? I guess Christopher Daniels was the next transition, the most obvious transition. He was there, and he's an excellent performer. But it was kind of like unexpected, and I guess, I mean, people didn't hate it. It's Christopher Daniels, so it is what it is. And he retained the belt. Cody Rhodes winning, he's not going to win for a lot of reasons, and one of them is he didn't sign a full-time deal with ROH. They're not going to give him this belt. They're not going to give him the Brock Lesnar treatment. They're not going to let him go. That's not the way ROH operates. They're not going to let him go for 3 months without defending that belt. It's just not going to happen. And I don't think Cody Rhodes or Vince McMahon necessarily care about him becoming a world champion for those promotions. I don't think Vince McMahon gives a damn if Cody Rhodes became world champion anywhere else in the world. The only way or place that he would care is New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's a slap in the face, or not a slap in the face, but look what I did. If he wins the IWGP title, AJ Styles did it, and look where he's at now. It could do the same for Cody Rhodes. Give me your thoughts.
Well, he's, like you said, he was one of those names we could talk about maybe for the IWGP United States Championship if, like you said, if he's, I would say, has more of a commitment to that place, but we don't know. We don't know the contract stipulations on that. And like I said, I thought it would be the perfect time. I mean, you had the Hardys coming in, winning the tag team championships, and it was only for a short term, but at least it was a moment that a lot of fans won't forget. So at least for Cody Rhodes, that would have been one of those ha-ha moments. And with Ring of Honor and New Japan intertwined with each other, I think that belt symbolically is a step in the right direction. And he could have done it in Impact Wrestling, but he wasn't there for that long. So that's what I'm just saying. But to each his own. Christopher Daniels being the champion, I don't know if I call him a transitional champion, but I think you reward loyalty. I have no disagreement with rewarding loyalty. Impact did that with Chris Sabin, as you said. They did that with Eric Young, but then the big question is, what do you do the day after? You have to have a bigger picture, and sometimes these people do not represent your company. No matter how much they can do in the ring, there's more to this, Slamites. That's why Roman Reigns is the top merch.
Oh, God, stop that nonsense.
That's why Punishment Martinez will become the top merch in Ring of Honor.
Let's do it. Let's do a Punishment. I can't bring myself to call a guy Punishment.
Yes, you can.
I just can't, hey, Punishment. Is that what they call him at home? Is that what his kids call him? Punishment, Daddy Punishment. It's like whatever. It's a dumb name, Punishment Martinez.
Yeah, come on over to the PW Hustle. We'll tell you why he's called Punishment Martinez.
Oh, God. We'll also tell you about Roman Reigns being the top merch seller in the WWE. We're going to do that. Anyway, listen, we talked a little bit about Ring of Honor and the product that they were presenting not too long ago, about you could say 5 years ago, different to the product that they're presenting now. And you pointed out to me, talking about how Ring of Honor is now presenting a more entertainment style, even though they're still doing the in-ring work and the beautiful in-ring work, sometimes you can say strong style in-ring work. But now it's more entertaining. It's more entertainment, like the WWE would do. You pointed this out, so give me something before I comment on it.
I said this. I looked. Comparing to what we saw in 2010 with Davey Richards and Roderick Strong going, I think, back in, 7 years ago, it really was about the in-ring work, talking about the spirit of the competition. That was basically the storyline of every match. But now you have people like Dalton Castle, showing the flash with the boys. You have the Young Bucks, the super kick parties. You have, as you said, Will Ospreay, poetry in motion in the air. You have, Christopher Daniels, showing that kind of like comedy / good in-ring work. And
Adam Cole, baby, when he did that, the whole place exploded. And then Tanahashi did it, and everybody said, Tanahashi, baby. It's great. Anyway, guys.
And the professor was going, Tana! Trying to be trying to get the girls going, Tana!
Yeah,
but
sure.
anyway, but as you say, but you know, you go back to the early days of Ring of Honor, it was basically the spirit of the competition. Even CM Punk, as entertaining as he was, it was still about the spirit of the competition, about being the champion. Samoa Joe was one of the longest running Ring of Honor champions, and he was a badass. He was the spirit of the competition. Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness had wars in the ring, hour-long Broadways. It was the spirit of the competition, and I guess I said that to you, Billy. I think they've gone away with that and gone more entertainment style.
I don't think they've gone away with it, because you still get that Ring of Honor title is still valued, and it's still.
But wait. Let me just say this. I would think if this was 2007, that the Cody Rhodes, Jay Lethal, and Christopher Daniels match would have lasted 45 minutes. They would all be sweating. They would all be gushing out. It lasted, I guess, because of time constraint, it was like 20 minutes. It felt like to me 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but you know what they did back then? They do it a little bit here and there. That's what I would say.
Well, I think they do it a lot, but they just do the other stuff a little more. And I think the reason that the main event wasn't as long as you said it would be is because it was a joint venture between New Japan and ROH, and there was a lot more to fill in there. But I think once we see just ROH pull off a show, you'll see that again. But there's a lot of characters now. Like Adam Cole has that character, and like you said, like the Young Bucks, and those guys can sell out an arena and perform a match just on their antics and not necessarily their wrestling. And they're special talents. Or Marty Scurll or Will Ospreay. Well, that's his wrestling. But there's people still involved with Ring of Honor, all of these guys actually, that are that good in the ring too. And that's why Ring of Honor is such an excellent product. And that's why I would encourage anybody, when Ring of Honor comes to your town, if you're a wrestling fan, go check out the show. It's never a bad time. And every ticket in the house is a good ticket. So buy it. Go see them. Support them. It's awesome. This is Billy Ray Valentine. That is the Professor Chabelo Velacruz. And we were talking about Ring of Honor, War of the Worlds 2017, right here on OneWrestling.com, Big Slam Nation. I want to say what's up to Bill Apter. I want to say what's up to Big Ray, OK Fabe, and the rest of the One Wrestling Big Slam Nation family. And that is all. You want to say goodbye to people?
Well, you know what? I'm going to change my name to Professor Punishment now. So this way people don't confuse Chabelo with Anthony.
Can you see that?
Yes, I can. Okay. I can see that picture.
Yeah.
And to my man Naito, this eye's for you too.
All right, say goodbye, Professor Punishment.
Goodbye, Professor Punishment.